What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And Liverpool are and were in talks with Newcastle over the transfer of Anthony Gordon. This was confirmed by Liverpool-based journalist David Lynch, who is a very reliable journalist and he is basically a Liverpool mouthpiece. And the Daily Mail and other newspapers are reporting, Simon Jones and Craig Hope are reporting that Newcastle were ready to sell Anthony Gordon to Liverpool this week, but talks broke down because Liverpool rejected the Jarrell Quansah to be included in the deal because Newcastle wanted Quansah plus money for Anthony Gordon, as they are forced to sell some of their players to avoid a profit and sustainability rule breach and a subsequent points deduction. So let me know guys, do you want Liverpool to sign Anthony Gordon for around £50 million? That's what the mooted transfer fee is. Let me know your thoughts down below. And also, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here. And guys, if you enjoy my videos and if you have enjoyed my videos and if you want me to continue, I need your financial help because I'm only making around $300-400 per month. And if only a few of you guys would just donate a couple of dollars, it would really mean the world to me. You can do so by clicking the link in my video's description. The first link is for my Patreon and you get additional benefits as well, so link is in the video's description. So Liverpool did not want to lose Quansah, which I'm very happy about. So Liverpool outright rejected Newcastle's proposal of Quansah plus cash for Anthony Gordon because Liverpool see Jarrell Quansah as a future England international, and he was even called up for the preliminary Euros squad for England before being caught when the final squad was finalized. And Liverpool also are in a position where they can negotiate from strength because they are not desperate to sign a winger right now. We have Cody Gakpo, Luis Diaz and even Diogo Jota who can play on the left wing, Anthony Gordon's preferred position. So Liverpool know that Anthony Gordon is a boyhood Liverpool fan and he loves Liverpool. He wants to come back to the city, having played for Everton before, but the way that Anthony Gordon left Everton, I think was like not a good breakup, if you like, because Anthony Gordon put in a transfer request, and also you will hear all the details later in this video that Anthony Gordon hasn't spoken well about the way Everton handled that transfer. So Liverpool admire the Anthony Gordon, but the proposed deal was not right for them. That Jarrell Quansah, they didn't want to lose him after having a brilliant season, his first full season at Liverpool, and it was a really big success. And the journalists are saying that there is a chance that talks could be revived over the weekend. So today Liverpool could be in talks with Anthony Gordon as we speak. And Gordon is currently with England at the Euros, and a medical in Leipzig was even proposed and mooted. PSG are also thought to admire Anthony Gordon, but Liverpool are in the strongest position and Liverpool is Anthony Gordon's preferred destination. Newcastle need to sell players before January the 30th, which is today, to comply with the profit and sustainability rules. Of course, Anthony Gordon is happy at Newcastle. He won the Player of the Season award. He signed from Everton for 45 million pounds 18 months ago, so 1.5 years ago, and there is an acceptance that Newcastle needs to sell some of their players to meet these rules and regulations. And Steve Pearson, another journalist, is reporting that Liverpool are ready to offer £50 million plus a goalkeeper, Kevin Kelleher, in the deal, which I think that would be a little bit too much for Gordon because that would make the total around £65-70 million, and I don't think Newcastle would want that much for Anthony Gordon. But Liverpool's interest in the live wire winger Anthony Gordon is genuine. Of course, Liverpool didn't want to include Quansah in the deal, but Kevin Kelleher is also surplus requirements. He would want to go to a club where he plays more regularly, and according to the journalist, Newcastle want a new goalkeeper because they had the former Liverpool goalkeeper Loris Karius on their books before his contract expired. Newcastle already agreed to sell winger Yankuba Minteh to Brighton in a deal worth £33 million. So Minteh was actually on loan at Arne Slot's Feyenoord this season, where he had a pretty good campaign, 11 goals and 6 assists. Newcastle are still not meeting the profit and sustainability threshold even with this sale, so they need to sell more players if they want to comply with the rules. The journalist is reporting that Liverpool are prepared to bid 50 million plus Kevin Kelleher. Liverpool value Kevin Kelleher at around 20, 25, 30, 35 million, so meaning the total cost of the bid would be worth around 75 million pounds. And I think the Minteh to Brighton deal is almost done, so Liverpool of course are now in a harder position because Newcastle don't want to lose another one of their talents. But Newcastle are on the hunt to sign a new goalkeeper because they want to have proper competition for Nick Pope. And Liverpool are very keen on Gordon, which is the Guardian newspaper's report. And this newspaper also corroborates the story that Newcastle did not miss an approach from Liverpool over Gordon, but discussions broke down when it became clear that Liverpool didn't want to lose Jarrod Kwanzaa, so they rejected Newcastle's proposal of Kwanzaa plus cash. But Liverpool came up with another, different deal to include Kevin Kelleher. And Anthony Gordon has been very complimentary about Liverpool, and his idol, his childhood hero was Steven Gerrard growing up, and he was actually a boyhood Liverpool fan, interestingly. So speaking on the Overlaps show, Steven Gerrard was my football hero growing up. That's what Gordon says. Coming from Liverpool, he was like a god in Liverpool, and he was an unbelievable player. And also he admires Mo Salah a lot. He admires him because some footballers like to think, let's just turn up and play and trust their instincts, but Mo Salah thinks ahead and visualizes what he wants to happen on the pitch, and Anthony Gordon tries to take that advice on board as well. Anthony Gordon also said that Anfield is by far the best atmosphere in the Premier League, and he also said that Curtis Jones is one of his best mates when it comes to football, and Curtis Jones is one of his best mates because they won the European Under-21 Championship with England together. So Anthony Gordon is 23 years old. He's at the perfect age. That's the kind of age where Liverpool love to sign these wingers. We signed Salah, Mane, Firmino, even Luis Diaz in and around when they were 23 years old. He played 35 games in the Premier League for Newcastle, and no wonder he was the player of the season. He scored 11 goals and 10 assists in the Premier League, which is really impressive because Newcastle haven't been that dominant throughout the whole season. His market value is around 60 million euros, which is around 50 million pounds. So in total, Anthony Gordon scored 12 goals and got 11 assists this season for Newcastle. And no wonder Everton sold him. He only had 4 goals for Everton in 34 games. But Everton were struggling and fighting against relegation, so I wouldn't read too much into these numbers. In a more attacking side, Anthony Gordon really shown this season with 12 goals and 11 assists, and he could even score even more goals in a Liverpool team which create even more chances than Newcastle. 3 seasons ago, 4 goals and 3 assists for Everton, and here you can see his whole statistics of his whole career. In total, he played 64 games and scored 13 goals for Newcastle, which is not an outrageous goal return. And I hear people saying that if we replace Luis Diaz with Anthony Gordon, that would be a downgrade. But Anthony Gordon is 23 years old, so he's not at the peak of his career. Luis Diaz is at the peak of his career, but Luis Diaz right now is more prolific than Anthony Gordon. But the trajectory of these players is maybe where Liverpool see potential, that Anthony Gordon can keep improving these numbers. Liverpool would only spend and should spend 70-75 million on a player if they are fully convinced that he will be a starter. And that's where I find this deal a little bit baffling. Unless we plan to sell Luis Diaz, Liverpool don't really need to spend the 70-75 million on a winger. I would more prefer if Liverpool signed a winger who has huge potential, somebody like Bakayoko, and we could spend maybe 30-40 million on that player. I would want Liverpool to spend 75 million on a defensive midfielder. But at the moment, Liverpool haven't signed anyone. We are still exploring all our options in the transfer market. Anthony Gordon actually, it was reported by Sky Sports that he had failed to show up to training in order to force a move away from Everton to Newcastle in the January transfer window in 2022. So Gordon later expressed he has been disappointed by the manner that Everton announced Gordon's departure. And he was a massive part in keeping Everton up, and yet he thinks that Everton was very short in their statement. They didn't give him enough credit, so he has a frosty relationship now with Everton. And I mean, for Liverpool fans, if we sign a former Everton player and he becomes world class at Liverpool, that is just all the better, because then Everton fans would hate Liverpool even more if that's possible, and Liverpool fans wouldn't mind that. Gordon joined Newcastle on a long-term contract after submitting a formal transfer request to Everton, and that's why I love Anthony Gordon. He is a boyhood Liverpool fan. He loves Steven Gerrard and Mo Salah, and he submitted a transfer request at Everton. So I think we shouldn't hold it against him, Anthony Gordon, that he played for Everton, because he didn't have a chance to play for Liverpool before. But now that when your boyhood club comes calling, that is always a transfer that Anthony Gordon would love to see. And here is the report by David Lynch. He said that Liverpool turned down the opportunity to sign Anthony Gordon. Newcastle made the first approach as they attempt to comply with profit and sustainability rules, but their attempts to include Kwanzaa was part of the reason why talks didn't progress. But that doesn't mean that talks will not continue, because if Liverpool are interested in Anthony Gordon, and everybody thinks they are, then Liverpool could keep talking with Newcastle and eventually find a solution. Because David Lynch is confirming that Liverpool are long-term admirers of Anthony Gordon, but they have not made an offer for his services. So this is Newcastle offering Anthony Gordon to Liverpool. But the fact that other news outlets and other journalists are reporting that Liverpool are, offering Kevin Kelleher plus money for Anthony Gordon means that there are legs in this story, and there is an interest from Liverpool to actually make this deal happen. And Gordon would definitely fit in very well into the Arne Slot system. He's an ever-pressing winger who maintains width and boasts immense stamina. He has a fantastic attitude. And if you saw his interview on Sky Sports with Gary Neville, that highlights Anthony Gordon's mentality and work ethic and mindset. His qualities align well with Liverpool's style, because if you compare Anthony Gordon with Mane, non-penalty expected goals plus expected assists, Anthony Gordon's was 17.4, Mane's was 22.5. Shot creating actions, Anthony Gordon had even higher, 4.4. Mane was just 3.6. Tackles per 90 minutes, Anthony Gordon has 1.7 tackles. Mane has 1.05. And progressive carries, 4.3 for Anthony Gordon. And for Mane, it's 3.3. So all of Anthony Gordon's attributes and statistics suggest that he could seamlessly integrate into Arne Slot's playing style, Arne Slot's system at Liverpool, because it will be high press, high intensity system. Anthony Gordon's stamina, attitude and numbers back this up. Is he a perfect fit? I think so, but the biggest problem, as I said, Anthony Gordon's best position is left wing. Yes, he can play on the right wing as well, so maybe we are thinking that Anthony Gordon will be the backup for Mo Salah. But as I said, if Liverpool spends 75 million on a winger, he should be a regular starter, in all honesty, because Liverpool are not like Man City, who can sit players on the bench who are worth £100 million. Yes, Jack Grealish is who I'm talking about. But I really wanted to give you guys a very comprehensive, very detailed analysis of this latest story, because yesterday and today the social media is buzzing about Anthony Gordon potentially going to Liverpool. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.